Hayabusa will be left open. I know we talk about the Hayabusa a lot, but when we're talking about Falcon Esports, we have to talk about the Hayabusa. And it looks like the Hayabusa was left open to utilize by Falcon Esports.
And immediately an Irithel shows up as well. The usual big players, I mean the Granger, the Harith, all banned out. And without any or joys available, it's going to be a Suyo. So for Team Falcons, I think the farming speed is right there. But they're also playing with the Tsushin right now. So for Falcon Esports, you can see that the Lo Yi, the Yves, the usual suspects are banned out too. So what's the idea here? Team Falcons can kind of tighten the rope around Falcon Esports' neck and just make sure that there's no real good wave clear in the mid lane. And if that's the case, then the trio mid rotation from Team Falcons can be quite menacing.
So the Farsa here should be banned by Team Falcons, right? You have a Moscow winner composition, and you mentioned wave clear. Farsa is A-OK, but it does seem like Falcon Esports, they prioritize the Jawhead. Team Falcons, on the other hand, neglected the mid lane. They opted for a Bellary, because technically we have seen multiple times in this tournament Falcon Esports rocked the Bellary.
And they can definitely flex it as well, right? That's one of the main strategies we've seen Falcon Esports utilize. So it's really good homework made in by Team Falcon. But what do you think will be the response from Falcon Esports? Jawhead ban and?
They're trying to make sure that
Cho?
Cho?
Cho ban? No.
Phoveus. I think they're trying to limit any kind of strong frontliners for Team Falcons, because the last thing they want is to get held down by one of these very aggressive CC-rich heroes like the Phoveus, and then the Tsushin can just stand there and just illuminate the whole battlefield, do a ton of damage. And I mean, I like the Bellaric ban by the Team Falcons as well, because the Tsushin and the Moskov both do a lot of instances of damage to trigger the passive of Bellaric very, very often. And we've seen that Falcon Esports do well with control. So now that there's no Bellaric, there's something that's stopping Team Falcons from doing risky flanks technically. And that is something that Tsushin players like to do a lot. Look at this, it's going to be a Hilda for Falcon Esports. That's the two frontliners for the most part already exposed. A lot of HP pool.
They're playing their cards very, very good here. They're hiding their mid laner still, because technically Farsa is still on the board. But if they picked in the fourth pick here, Team Falcons might come up with something that might threaten the Farsa more. So Falcon Esports here showing up their frontliner card first, and then wait for Team Falcons. What do they need here? I feel like they lack crowd control, so I believe they will focus on crowd control here.
We have Glue, we have Badang, we have...
Badang.
Whoa!
What?
Eterna!
That was luck.
Wait, if you're this accurate, is your caster prediction gonna be accurate?
Wow.
Someone write this down, man. We have to verify the data right afterwards. For Team Falcons, this is a great composition. Everyone can dive in forward at the same time, and they do have they have the option of playing with the Moskov, and technically, it is one of the better marksmen in dealing with these dive threats like the Hylas, like the Hilda and the Hayabusa. And in a proper front to back even, the passive right on the Hilda and the Moskov is going to translate to everyone right behind them as well. For Falcon Esports, it's going to be that Vexana, and this is a bit terrifying, man, because you know, if the Glue pops in a split, and he gets hit with a massive nuke of a Cursed Blast, you know, everyone pops at the same time. We've seen that wipe out multiple members in a split second.
Very, very risky pick with the Glue, I believe, from Team Falcons, understanding that Falcon Esports had not picked up their mid laner just yet. And like you mentioned, it's a really great counter. So game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, in the Snapdragon Pro Series, we are approaching the final match of the group stages. So Arashi, Gani, take it away.
All right, this will be the last match of the day for us. We'll have to see how this goes, man. Dax on the signature Hayabusa against a very valid challenger from Team Falcons.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, the line of dawn. Here we go. For game 1, our last match is Philippines against Myanmar. Who do you got?
All right. Olwen's actually playing on the Badang, and we've already mentioned this earlier on today, but there are mixed opinions on which role is better suited for that Badang. And honestly, I feel like for Team Falcons, some value to that because we know that Ogwen just likes being aggressive. Right now, though, against a Hylas and a Hilda, I am a bit skeptical on how much damage Ogwen will be able to do in this early game. But we'll just have to wait and see to see if that actually is the case.
3 Brace Smites here from side of Team Falcons. They want some sustainability, durability here, Rashi.
Definitely so. Making sure that in those back and forths that Falcon Esports really like to use, right, in the neutral objective contest, Team Falcons will have a bit of an advantage if it keeps going further. We already talked about the value of sustain. It is one of the main things that makes the Bellaric quite a difficult opposition to deal with. But for now, looking at the rest of the emblems, tenacities for both the frontliners of Team Falcons. Along with that, though, agilities on 3 members, trying to augment the rotational speed. We've seen teams shut down Falcon Esports purely by superior roaming and making sure that each lane just keeps getting pressured by constant threats of roams from the other lanes.
Yeah, I mean, so far here, both teams definitely rotating. Now it's a setup here. Cheeky setup by Dax, 2v1. Flap Easy here, taking some heat. Oh, Shadow Kill wasn't committed there, I believe. Dax, I guess he's saving that Shadow Kill for a short kill elsewhere. Now it's gonna be okay. Falcon Esports here. Kid X, somehow knocked up, but he's still a-okay.
A little back and forth maneuvers there. Falcon Esports, though, having enough sustain as well to just keep in the fight. Royal Milk going in.
Oh, careful here, immobilize it as well. Now it's going to be the Shadow Kill saved up. PX7 flickers out of danger, but Kaltizi, clutch a retribution, but that's gonna be traded for a kill. And Falcon Esports, they are a-okay for that trade, I believe.
His SOD there from Super Marco flies by. Falcon Esports, they didn't get the neutral objective, but I guess it's still, they got something for their efforts. But they were actually forced to use all of their battle spells, so that's not really the best of signs, considering that this is where Falcon Esports usually want to be aggressive, want to be the oppressors in this scenario.
Let's see here, what will Team Falcons do? Oh, Kid X here.
Ooh.
Glorious Pathway committed, but that's about it. Now Law and Order connecting on towards 1. 4 members, Benny! It joins the fight as well. PX7 finding the kill. Good juke there by Kaltizi, but Falcon Esports, great response, right?
Very good response. Again, the aggressiveness is there, and the fact that Team Falcons used so much resources and still were unable to take down Kid X, they might have to wait a bit longer there if they really want to play this aggressive style, especially if Falcon Esports is just throwing Kid X right there as the main front line. Because the Hylas, you might be able to take him out, but in the end, taking damage is exactly what he wants to do.
You're right. Let's see here, the recovery technically from the side of Team Falcons. They're behind slightly on gold, but yeah, they need some sort of a compensation, perhaps in the next neutral objective that is coming in less than 30 seconds.
That is definitely important, but you have to watch at what both teams do before the turtle actually spawns. We're 20 seconds away, it seems like it's way too far. But from right now, with both teams so well known for their setups, this is where the chess game really begins. Which bushes contain heroes, contain traps here from both teams. Team Falcons definitely have a bit more of an advantage because the Tsushin can just literally illuminate the rest of the map, and that means that Falcon Esports have to get creative if they really want to catch Team Falcons off guard.
Yeah, let's see here which team pokes more pre-turtle. Has claws though for Benny, so he's prioritizing more sustainability though. Hunter Strike for Dax. So he wants penetration, he wants mobility. Let's see, will it be influential in this coming turtle fight? Seems like Team Falcons is doing very well as well in just controlling the river.
That's some good damage from PX7 there. And Royal Milk is always a big problem there. Unable to be pushed away even with the constant pressure from the glue. If Royal Milk can get his hands on Kaltizi, the Hilda on your assassin jungler, that's usually a surefire way to get an advantage. But look at this. Is it too far? Royal Milk
Good risk positioning. That's Glorious Pathway invested already. Now it's going to be Dax jumping in with the quartet. Oh, Kaltizi for the second time finds a retribution. Now it is going to be a fight here forced by Team Falcons as there are multiple members taken down. Kaltizi secures one and PX7 will fall next. Flapteezy will be the trade, the only trade, and that's going to be Falcon Esports here struggling to find an equalizer as Ogwen survives with a slither of HP.
Royal Milk trying to find something there, but he's forced to go back to his lane. Not wanting to miss out on the gold and EXP. Great pressure from Team Falcons right there. The fact that they're the ones pressured, taking damage bit by bit, but still coming out on top with the better execution in these fights. Falcon Esports, man, it just feels like they aren't really focusing on one target. And if you look at their composition, there's not a lot of AoE to throw around. So they really have to kind of concentrate and pick and choose who exactly they want to threaten properly, because otherwise, you know, we talked about how Badang isn't exactly as tanky as a Hylas, but if everyone's hitting different targets, this Badang suddenly seems tankier than usual.
Wow, wow, and wow. I mean, early game, I gotta say, Team Falcons, they're able to somehow control and dictate more, even though the first 3 minutes, it was actually Falcon Esports who were grabbing more kills.
Yeah, Falcon Esports, with that pressure, man, I feel like they should find a way to move together around, because they keep sending Royal Milk solo, right? And eventually, he is doing fine. He's actually out-trading Flapteezy, I believe, during those side control battles almost. But at the same time, the moment the fight actually, starts, it really seems like Team Falcons have an idea on how to just ignore the Hilda.
Right.
And technically, right, we talked about how Dax should be the main target, should be zoned out of these fights, and we've seen it being done before. It is possible, but, that is not what is going on here.
I mean, technically, it has been 50-50 for the first two turtles here. And Dax, we expected better. I personally expected better on the retribution. Kaltizi, well done. But let's see here. Minute number 6. Nothing too crazy, but Team Falcons, yeah, they have a 2K gold lead.
2K gold isn't game-changing, technically. A single fight can turn that around. But with Team Falcons pushing the tempo, having heroes like the Tushin that can just continuously stay on the map, right? Not really needing a lot of resources to clear, to skirmish, this can end up being a tough time for Falcon Esports, especially if the pressure starts translating into the jungle, right? They need Dax to be on curve because it's already an uphill battle trying to retreat against a Suyo, but against a Suyo of Kaltizi, there's extra levels of difficulty here.
Let's see, and also he is an extra level ahead. That's a good Eternal's Guard there. An opening from Falcon Esports. But let's see here, no follow-up here just yet. Royal Milk kinda isolated here. Kid X is hovering around, but now a few from the other side. Half HP. Good at stun there, but now it is actually a one-member mounted. Now Kid X trying to buy time for his team as a high loss. Now let's see here. Falcon Esports, can they deliver the damage? OSOD connecting, but now it's going to be Kaltizi finding the kill as well as Royal Milk, who will fall. 2 members of Falcon Esports here deleted.
Seems like Falcon Esports' plans are just crumbling apart, man. They lost a turret on the bottom lane to the split push of Super Marco, and even then still, despite the fact that Royal Milk was able to get so much attention, was able to garner the focus of 3 players of Team Falcons, it doesn't matter. The turtle wasn't rushed. There wasn't any trade back forced upon Team Falcons. They were able to get the turret, rotate, take out Royal Milk, and still get the turtle. They're playing this very patiently, and Falcon Esports are struggling to really show anything of real opposition against Team Falcons.
Which is unfortunate, right? Because I feel like Falcon Esports has the firepower in the bottom side, though. Now, Benny, mounted, Iron Fist, committed. Ogwen will secure the kill on towards the gold laner from Falcon Esports. Another sign. Falcon Esports here is struggling to find a dub 8 minutes in.
Not to mention, Dax hasn't really been able to find a lot of big moments, whether that's kills or pickups, but look at this, whoa!
The crowd control is too huge, and Royal Milk will fall again. This time, the second time. Let's see here, Dax, turn off angle. Only spots Ogwen, though, from that angle. The mid lane turret will fall, because Super Marco is in the area. Team Falcons here, slowly but surely controlling. That's a flicker Iron Fist. Oh my goodness. Good play there from Ogwen, which Super Marco says, okay, let me grab the kill.
Owen getting fancy with it. Team Falcons at this point does so much damage. Earlier, you can see at least Royal Milk himself is able to be such a nuisance. But again, with a 7,000 gold lead now, that's not going to be the case any longer. Even when he walks forward just a little bit, there's no requirement for Team Falcons to use too much crowd control tools, because with only one or two options, they can secure the kill onto Royal Milk.
Yeah, I don't think now any member of Falcon Esports here can withstand the power that is already created or already in Team Falcons here. Because BOD for Caltesi, and I believe Super Marco is practically free farming as well. So let's see here. With the Lord up, I don't think Falcon Esports should contest. They should turtle in their base here. They do not have enough firepower, but let's see here. Team Falcons looking for a force. I believe Dax again misses on that retribution. SOD luckily does not connect on towards any members of Falcon Esports. Glorious Pathway committed as a defensive move, but that's going to be the roamer mounted, deleted. Few will gladly secure that one. 5v4 with the Lord coming. Team Falcons, they're on the offense.
Just like that, man. There goes Kid X. The Hylos, the tanky Hylos, literally blown up. Man, that was a bold attempt by Falcon Esports, man. Dax is great, but he's also 2 levels down in the engagement. And he was, again, going up against the Execute, the second skill of Zetsuyo. I feel like that was just a bit too risky. If anything, they should be trying to get what they can, you know, like a pick-off and sacrifice the neutral objective. It doesn't really seem like they should be able to contest properly.
A little bit too risky indeed. Let's see here, Rintalker though, already in the arsenal of Irithel. Top turret will be the main priority. That is the damage there. Base turret number 1 in the top lane has been taken down. Falcon Esports hit the reset button again. Take a look at Team Falcons though, applying every pressure on every angle. Oh, a few good response there. Repositioning. It does seem like with the First Lord, Team Falcons might be able to grab all 3 turrets.
It's just so difficult because at this point, I mean, we saw earlier, Super Marco has the Wind of Nature, so even Dax can't really do much, even if Benny dives in with him. Oh, even with the Mother Gun, but look at this!
Flap TZ, find a new 2-man immobilization. Kid X, deleted. That's going to be Falcon Esports collecting a kill. A 2-for-1 still favoring Team Falcons. They're looking for the end. As Super Marco is just deleting everybody inside the base. Super Marco collects a double. Will not even look for the triple as the main base will be the priority, and Team Falcons finds game 1.
Just like that. The domination of Team Falcons, shutting down everything. The distraction.